I have a great time with my life, and I want to share it. I love living. I think that's infectious. It's something that you can't fake. Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, God-like feature that only the special among us will ever taste. You know, it's something that truly exists in all of us. It's very simple. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it. Period. It's that simple.
I know who I am, and I know what I believe.
I know who I am, I know what I believe.
That's all I need to know.
And that's all I need to know. So from there, you do what you need to do. You know, and I think what happens is we make the situation more complex than it has to be.
Because we're looking for complexity. There's got to be something complex to understand.
It can't be that easy.
No.
We didn't grow up with the sense that where we were was where we were going to be. You know, we grew up with the sense that where we were almost didn't matter because we were becoming
right.
something greater.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. You know, while the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working.
There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day, you'll never be able to communicate with people, with your artistry, the way that you want. So
the only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, but if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's two things. You're getting off first, or I'm going to die. It's really that simple.
One summer, his dad tore down a brick wall on the front of his business and told 12-year-old Will and his 9-year-old brother to rebuild it, a job they said was impossible. It took them a year and a half, but they did it.
And he said, now don't you ever tell me it's something that you can't do. You don't try to build a wall. You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall that's ever been built. You don't start there. You say, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. And you do that every single day.
And soon you have a wall.
And soon you have a wall.
you know, it's an idea that my grandmother always had, that, you know, if you're going to be here, then there's a necessity to make a difference. She always instilled the responsibility, the spiritual responsibility that you have to make every group you come in contact with better.
I want to do good.
Yeah.
I want the world to be better because I was here. I want my life, I want my work, my family, I want it to mean something. And it's like, it has, if you are not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time. You know, like your life will become better by making other lives better. I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. And that's just, I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. I think that there's a certain delusional quality that all successful people have to have. You have to believe that something different than what has happened for the last 50 million years of history. You have to believe that something different can happen. Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? What's the point of being realistic?
Just put up a barrier.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's done. It's already done. The second I decide it's done, it's already done. Now we just got to wait for y'all to see.
It's unrealistic to walk in a room and flip a switch and lights come on. That's unrealistic. Fortunately, Edison didn't think so. It's unrealistic to think you're going to bend a piece of metal and fly people over an ocean in that metal. That's unrealistic. But fortunately, the Wright brothers and others didn't believe that, and it just seems like such a ridiculous idea to me to embrace the idea that it's not going to happen, and that's not real for that to happen. As soon as you say it, now you just made that real. Our thoughts, our feelings, our dreams, our ideas are physical in the universe. That if we dream something, if we picture something, if we commit ourselves to it, that is a physical thrust towards realization that we can put into the universe. That the universe is not a thing that's going to push us around. That the world and people and situations are not something that are going to push us around. That we are going to bend the universe and command and demand that the universe become what we want it to be.
I study the patterns of the universe.
There's a redemptive power that making a choice has, rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff,
There's a flow of the universe that I've grown to know just how to go with it. I realize that to have the level of success that I want to have, it's difficult to spread it out and do multiple things. It takes such a desperate, obsessive focus. You really got to focus with all of your fiber and all of your heart and all of your creativity.
I'm motivated by fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of fear. I hate being scared to do something. And I think what developed in my early days was the attitude that I started attacking things that I was scared of.
It was Franklin Roosevelt said the only fear you have to fear is fear itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't be scared to die for the truth. The truth is the only thing that's ever going to be constant.
This idea, it's a guy trying to put his life back together, and he just gets furious and rants and writes letters to love, time, and death. And then love, time, and death respond, So it's a really, that beautiful Christmas flavor was, just a little touch outside of reality, so you get to deal with real subjects and real topics and real loss, but because it touches just that New York Christmas, just a little bit outside of the you know, how excruciating it would be if you dealt with it, you know, straight, hard, rated R, loss, you know. So I just love going into that realm of the mystical, to be able to take a good look at you know, real human issues.
So you talk about real. I felt it was the most real I had seen you be.
Really?
Yeah, like I felt there was no filter there.
Yeah.
And I wondered, for somebody who could choose to do anything, was there something special that drove you to this?
Yeah, you know, when I first read it, you know, when I first read it, every once in a while you read a screenplay, and the most important thing in a movie, well, I guess that, you know, the two most important things that I look for is, one is the universally relatable concept, right? So just at its core, when you first say it, when you say one line about it, can you connect to people? You know, and one of the best ones I've ever had, like, was something with like I Am Legend, the last man on earth. Yeah. Security, keep an eye on this section right here. You know, but it's like when you just have that one thing, you know. And with this, it was a little bit heavier, but it was a guy trying to put his life back together after an extreme loss, right? So people can relate to that. That's an extremely relatable idea. And then I flipped to the last 10 pages and the ending. It's like, you know, this is a movie that has lots of twists and turns, but then even within the last 10 pages, there's still another surprise. When you can send people out of a movie theater with another surprise, you know. And, you know, so, I mean, historically, you know, there's been times I've sent people out of the movie theater, and the surprise in the last 10 minutes is that the movie wasn't good, right? So you want to avoid that surprise. You want to avoid that one. You know, but with this one, it had such an interesting turn in the end of it. It was you know, one of the most fun screenplays I've ever read.
Why are you doing movies at all still? Like, you're rich.
Yeah.
You could, as we say, cock up your foot and rock back.
Cock up my foot and rock back.
Yeah.
I love that.
Why,
That's just
like,
fantastic.
what is getting you out of bed to still go and do this thing?
You know, I enjoy connecting with people and ideas, and, you know, I have a mission statement. So every year for probably the past 10 years, I've worked out a mission statement for myself. And for the last few years, the mission statement has stayed the same, and it's been improve lives, right? So when I go into something, I'm looking for how the quality of this piece could potentially improve lives. But it's all along the way. It's when you make the movie and how you're interacting with people in the process. And, you know, the concept of improving lives runs through the center of everything I do. And then I realized that the way to improve lives is to continually improve yourself, right? So with that, every morning when I get out of the bed, you know, I haven't fixed everything in the world yet, so there's always something to do. And in this film, I read an interesting quote from the Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. He said that good people have to get out of the bed every day and try to empty the ocean with a ladle, right? And I thought that was, you know, I knew that was profound, and I paused for a second, and I said, all right, what the hell is a ladle, right? Right, so then, you know, I touched it on my iPad, it's ladle. Oh, it's like a big spoon, okay.
As we
it's
say,
like a
Philly.
soup spoon, yeah, it's like a soup spoon. I was like, why are you a soup spoon? So trying to empty the ocean with a soup spoon, you know, as the mentality of how you wake up every day to try to do good in the world. So for me, I'm really driven by continually trying to elevate my mind and elevate my spirit and care for my body, and to be able to love as many people as effectively as possible with this mystery of life that I've been given.
You know, here we are at Facebook, and I was